In this video, I'm going to show you my top 3 favorite glute strengthening exercises, and they're all going to be in standing. As a physical therapist who specializes in helping people with arthritis, when I look at a lot of these glute strengthening videos, a lot of them start on the floor or involve a kneeling position on all four. A lot of my patients have difficulty getting into that position or don't necessarily feel comfortable. So we are going to do all of our movements in standing. Let's get started. This first exercise is a variation of side stepping. A portion of your glutes is responsible for moving you sideways. So for this isolated step over exercise, I like to use a small object like a dumbbell. The object is optional though. Start on one side of the object if you're using one. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Take your hips and sit them back slightly towards your heels. So now you're in this active position. From here, I'm going to take my leg closest to the object, step over it, and come back. Step over it and come back. Now this is primarily working the leg that's not moving, as it's working to stabilize your body as your other leg is moving. Trying anywhere from 10 to maybe 30 repetitions can be a great place to start. If you have hip arthritis, you may have to take a smaller step at first, as this side stepping to a large degree may be painful at first. And then you will switch sides and do the same thing on the other side. If you can master about 30 of these fairly easily, here's one way to make it harder. Grab one of these loop resistance bands and put it about halfway from your ankle to your knee. The lower it is towards your ankle, the harder this will be. Adopt that active stance and complete the same movement. Step over and back, over and back. Adding this resistance starts to add in a little more challenge to the leg that's moving, as well as the stationary one, because now I'm trying to pull here and I don't want your leg to collapse. So it's trying to keep that stable. That's where the glutes come in. Same rep scheme, although you may need to start out a little bit lower, as this is going to be more difficult. Please be mindful, especially once you reach fatigue, of not tripping over the object. Exercise number 2 also requires a loop resistance band. I'm going to put a link down below to a brand very similar to this one, and also an option for a fabric band if you have difficulty with these ones rolling up on you. The glute is responsible for a motion called hip extension, which essentially happens when your leg is behind you. You can see why glute strength is incredibly important for walking. Your glutes also help to move you backwards. So for this exercise, we're adding resistance to a forwards and backwards walk. When you step forwards, I want you to think about stepping also at a diagonal. Forward and then a little bit to the side. What this is going to do is help to bring in those sideways glute muscles. Now after about 4 steps, I'm going to now do the same thing but go backwards. Lead with your heel as you step backwards and out to the side a little bit, again at a diagonal. I'll show you from the front. Notice that my knee and ankle always stays in line as I take a step. Don't let your foot come outside of your knee. You can move the band up if you need to. The lower the band is towards your ankle, the harder this will be, especially when controlling the knee. Same thing backwards, back, and at that diagonal. For this one, I like to usually set a timer, maybe 30 up to 90 seconds. See how many repetitions you can get. If you want to make this harder, you can increase the resistance, but you can also increase the distance. Say if you're taking 10 consecutive steps forward or 20 consecutive steps forward, and then the same thing backwards. This next exercise is called the step back and march. You're going to start with one foot in front. Say we start with our right. The left leg now is going to be behind you. You can have your heel up or down, whatever is most comfortable. Notice this right leg the knee is slightly bent and the left leg is straight. From here, bring this left leg up into a march and straighten that front leg. Then bring it back. Repeat the same thing. This is actually primarily working the leg, again, that's not moving. If you are experiencing pain in the front of your hip, I have a video you can check out after this, but you can reduce the height of the march. If you're not very confident in balance either, bring that march lower because that means you'll be on one leg for less time. You can also do this next to a wall, kitchen counter to help provide a little bit of stability. You can also add an object in front of you like a stair that you can touch as you bring that leg forward. To make this harder, you can add weight. So you can hold weight up at your shoulders, starting light, maybe 3 or 5 pounds, just to see how your body responds. Starting 5 to maybe 15 repetitions on one side, and then you will switch. The opposite leg will be in front, and you will complete the same movement. Please keep in mind, strength takes time to build. Choose one or all 3 of these and complete every other day or every couple of days at first to see how your body responds. Movement should feel good and should not significantly increase pain, so modify the exercises accordingly. If you're looking for more exercises and workouts to help you build strength in the right places to help support your joints, reduce pain, reduce stiffness, and live out the adventures that you'd like to, head on over to the Adventures for Life membership. Not only is it a workout membership, but also it includes support groups, expert masterclasses in areas of nutrition, and so much more. If you're interested in learning more about this program, head down to the link below. I can't wait for you to become an Adventurer for Life.